Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back again to The Drop, the official podcast of thedropnews.com. I am your host, Josh Sharp. Why am I talking like this? Okay, whatever. I'm your host, Josh Sharp, and joining me today are the same guys. Again, first up, we have Andrew Lilly. What's going on?
Not too much. Glad to be back. Got a lot to talk about.
Not really. Not really. It's kind of a short list today. I don't really care, though. I'm really tired.
Few things. Well, there's some good issues. How about that? I'll change it to we've got some good topics.
Good, there we go. Good topic.
Okay.
Today. And last but not least, we have David Hutchison in the building. How goes it, man?
Hey.
Is that it? Is that it?
That's it, right?
Hey.
Yeah, that's it.
How are things in the good old? How are things across the pond, man?
Things across the pond are alright. Can't wait to talk about some kind of new trailer that may have dropped last night at 5 a.m.
Yes, speaking of the trailer, and it's actually the reason why we're dropping this and recording this today. We were supposed to record I think Friday or Saturday, but I knew the trailer was coming, so I wanted us to talk about it and not have to wait a week to discuss it. So that's why the podcast is today, and we are talking about the latest trailer for Wonder Woman that just premiered during the Kids' Choice Awards last night. And honestly, I'm kind of sad that I waited this long to talk about it. Actually, no, I'm sad that I waited to talk about it because, I mean, me personally, it wasn't a bad trailer. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. And I'm glad they didn't show Ares or any key plot points or anything like that. I'm glad for that, but I don't know. It was kind of just more of the same from what we saw from the previous 2 trailers that we've seen so far. Mm-hmm. And then I think. Well, for me personally, I think the teasers, they released at least 3 teasers the day before the trailer dropped, just showing footage from the trailer. And I think those kind of ruined the trailer for me since I saw essentially, 45 seconds from the 2-minute trailer. I don't know. You may think I sound stupid, but I don't really care. Andrew, let's start off with you. What did you think of the trailer, man?
I'm pretty much excited for this movie already. So I didn't really need the new trailer because I thought the first trailer was so good. I'm with you. I like that they didn't show too much. We didn't see Ares. We didn't see too much of the female villain, aside from just shots we've seen before. But yeah, I was kind of left a little disappointed, a little bit. I guess I was just expecting a little bit more.
Same.
But and I gotta say what I'm worried about is they're gonna overuse of slow motion, and is she with you? Because that when they put that at the end of the trailer, that felt so out of place for me, and I just really did not like it in the trailer.
It's her theme, yo.
I know, but it just did not work for me at all, and I don't know. I thought it was a good trailer, not bad by any means. But it was probably my least favorite trailer that they released for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, for me, this is probably the equivalent to the BVS trailer that they showed during with Jimmy Kimmel or whatever.
Oh,
that's kind of yeah. This is, although they didn't spoil anything in regards to of that magnitude. It was still kind of where it's just I could have done without the trailer. We didn't really need that trailer. If that trailer didn't exist, I wouldn't feel any less excited for the movie.
Yeah.
So
good point about the teasers though. I didn't even think about that because I only watched one of the teasers, but I didn't even know.
There were 3 and there were 15 seconds each, and they were all brand new footage.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think if they would have released the one that we saw that Gal Gadot posted on her personal Instagram and just done with that, perfectly fine. Because because it dropped. I posted it and I was like, oh, it's really cool. And then 5 minutes later, oh, there's another one. Oh, cool, there's another one. Cool, let me go post that. 5 minutes later, there's a third. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Sure.
I missed those then.
Too.
I only watched the one where she threw her shield and the training thing with the Amazons. That was the only one I saw.
Yeah, the second one was when they were on the boat and he was just welcome to London. She was like, oh, it's hideous and all that stuff. And then the third was the little one-liner that she has where she's like, I am Diana, that mascara, all that good stuff.
Oh.
But David, what did you think of the trailer?
I will say, I will say that okay, like the settings of the flashback scenes in this trailer look stunning, with like the cliffs and the ocean and stuff like that. And I think some of the dialogue we got from Chris Pine was really funny. But apart from that, this trailer just didn't really do anything for me. Don't get me wrong, like some of the action that we got in this specific trailer looks kind of cool, but even then, we only really got like a bunch of quick glimpses at multiple action scenes. I would have much rather seen like one, slightly longer preview of one action sequence. I think the first trailer we got for Wonder Woman was far better. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm still hoping the movie's going to be good, but just in specifically talking about this trailer, it did nothing for me. Just to be clear, also, good trailers don't guarantee good movies, and bad trailers don't guarantee bad movies. So if you hated this trailer, don't let that ruin your expectations for the overall movie, because I think DC generally puts out good trailers. I think there's only been one other trailer that I have been disappointed with, and that was the Batman can't even talk today. The Batman v Superman trailer, where they showed like Batman and Superman teaming up to fight Doomsday at the end. I thought that was a mistake. But apart from that, DC generally puts out good trailers. Like, the Suicide Squad trailers were all great, but since we're talking about this specific trailer, it didn't do much for me. Even though I liked the 3 sort of preview clips, I was pretty disappointed.
Agreed. Glad we're all on the same page with this one. I'm stretching. Give me a second. All right. All right, moving on to some Deadpool 2 casting news. Domino has officially been cast in the Deadpool sequel, and she will be played by Zazie Beetz, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. You guys know by now, I'm really bad at pronouncing names, so you shouldn't be shocked if I said this incorrectly. But she is from Atlanta, which is the new hit show on FX that Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, has produced, written, and starred in. Apparently, this show's really good. I've only seen one episode, and I think the episode that I saw, she wasn't in. So, in regards to her acting ability, I have nothing to go off of. But, David, let's start with you. What did you think of this casting announcement, and do you think she's a good choice, if you even know who she is?
Yeah, well, I really like the way that Ryan Reynolds announced it with the graphic of Zazie's name and the dominoes. And I sent a message to everyone, and someone said, can we just check this? And I was like, it's Ryan Reynolds posting a picture of her name in dominoes with the Deadpool movie account tagged. What more do you need?
With the caption domino effect.
Yeah, exactly. I've only seen, I think, maybe 1.5 episodes of Atlanta, which is the show that I think she's most known for. But she stood out to me in that show. I wish I'd watched more to get a stronger sense of her as an actress, but from what I've seen, I'm all for it.
Okay. And let's turn it over to Andrew. Andrew, before you give your thoughts on her as Domino, can you give us a little backstory and some history on who Domino is in the Deadpool universe?
Yeah, Domino's basically kind of like a mercenary a little bit. She's teamed up with the X-Men before, X-Force, and then Deadpool's Mercs for Money. And basically her power is like manipulating chance. It's a kind of odd power, but it's kind of interesting. Everything I've read with her, I've liked her. She's a cool character. You guys have seen more episodes of Atlanta than I have. I've never seen an episode, and I know I need to.
Apparently the show is really good. Like I said, I've only seen one episode, and I was just I mean, it was the pilot.
Yeah.
The episode pilots for shows are usually never good. So
yeah, and I've just heard nothing but good things about the show. So now I'll have to watch it. So I think it's a good choice. Unfortunately, I can't say anything about her acting. I've never seen her in anything. I mean, before this podcast, I even messaged Josh. I messaged you. I'm like, what's she being in? And but I mean, I'm excited to see her. We finally have someone playing Domino after all that speculation on the short list, and I don't even think she was on any of those short lists.
Not that I saw.
No.
And if she was, she flew way under the radar.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, I'm excited that we finally have someone cast as Domino. I'm excited to see what she does with the role.
And actually, speaking of Deadpool, I kind of want to touch on the little short film / teaser that played before Logan. Did we talk about that last week? I don't think we did.
No,
I don't think so.
What did you guys think about that? I mean, I the thing is I kind of knew that it was happening, but I don't know. I thought it was okay. People think that there's like a teaser or like an Easter egg in there because like behind Deadpool you see like Firefly posters and people are saying that Nathan Fillion might be actually cast as Cable.
Oh yeah.
Has anybody else seen that?
Nope.
I've heard those rumors. Yeah, I've heard those rumors going around. I don't know if it's true or not, but I thought like the little sort of teaser clip overall, which I didn't actually see before Logan. It didn't play before my screening of Logan. I only saw it online when it went on sort of social media. But I thought it wasn't as good as the marketing for the first Deadpool movie. But it was kind of cool to see him. I guess it was good to see him after like a year or something since we last saw him. So it was good to see him, but I don't think it was nearly as good as the marketing for the first Deadpool movie was. But don't get me wrong, I'm still really excited for Deadpool 2. I think the marketing is, it's probably going to be upped. I think that the level of marketing is going to be increased. I think it's going to be really funny. So we'll just wait for that to hit the web.
Yeah. And do you have anything else to add?
Not too much. Just I thought it was fun. I didn't really need it just because I don't know. It kind of seemed a little weird just to play right before Logan, this really heavy film, and then you have Deadpool. But it was a pretty fun teaser. I did like the Cable Nathan Summers name written on the
Nathan Summers coming soon.
Yeah, so I thought that was that was the only Easter egg I found. I guess I wasn't really looking, but yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I'm interested because Cable's gonna be the next person to be cast, and there's been like 1,001 rumors about who's playing him or who's not playing him or who's might be in talks or who's close to signing. So we will find out sometime.
I mean, I've heard a few people say that it was a bit weird for them to have that before Logan because it was such different in tone. But for me, if I was there, I would have been like, right, that was Deadpool. Now I'm in a shift of tone, and now I'm going to watch Logan. I don't think I would have found it very jarring, just because I understood that they're two completely different characters tonally. So I get, I kind of get what you're saying, but I don't think that would have been. I don't think that was an issue for everyone.
I mean, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of with Andrew, but I'm also kind of with you. I think it would have been better if it was like the first trailer to play after like the weird freaking movie advertisements of like mediocre television shows and all that stuff. Just play the Deadpool teaser / short film thing, and then go on rest of the trailers, and then start the movie. But because that's like the first thing people see. I don't know. I didn't.
Better at the beginning than at the end.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, Logan is a pretty heavy and dark movie, and then to have Deadpool,
oh yeah, for sure,
laying on the stomach of a dead guy eating his Cherry Garcia Ben and Jerry's ice cream, that's just like, okay, sure, let's go with that. So whatever. But let's move on to the next topic, which is DC related, and I forget who said it, but do you guys remember who said this? Apparently they're going to be bringing flashbacks and flash forwards to the DCEU, DC Cinematic Universe.
Charles Roven, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought it was Charles Roven. And, I mean, honestly, this isn't, like, a big surprise. I mean, there was a flash forward in Batman v Superman with the nightmare sequence. And actually, ever since the movie came out, the entire studio around the DC Cinematic Universe has been teasing that they're going to be doing... You haven't seen the last of the nightmare, and, things like that. And there's also the rumor that Wonder Woman, like, all of the stuff in World War I is actually a flashback to, what was going on back then. So this isn't a huge surprise, at least to me, but I think this opens up like some really, really, really cool opportunities for this universe to do some stuff. Like a lot of people are trying to figure out, what happened with the dead Robin, how did he die, how was the Joker and Harley involved, and then with the whole nightmare sequence, so why, what happened to Superman, where are the rest of the Justice League members, how was the Flash involved since he came to Bruce and was just like, Lois is the key and all that good stuff. So I think this is a really cool opportunity for DC to do something like really awesome. But yeah, David, what do you think of this? The flashbacks.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense because there have been time jumps. I'm pretty sure in all the DC movies so far, we had Man of Steel, we saw Clark Kent as a child talking to Jonathan Kent. We saw Jonathan Kent's death in Man of Steel. BVS had flashbacks of Batman origin, obviously. Not very, not long flashbacks of that, but it was still a time jump. And then you kind of saw a flash forward a little bit with the whole Darkseid tease in the dream sequence kind of thing. I don't know if you can call that flash forward, but it was, it was suggesting something. And it was a time jump, technically. Although it was more of a dream, I guess. But anyway, Suicide Squad obviously had the Flash scene with Ezra Miller and the Harley Joker Batman sequence, so it's not surprising that there are going to be more in the future DC movies. I understand that the Wonder Woman movie surely is a flashback entirely, given that it's taking place in World War One. I don't know if it's going to start off with her in present day and then flashback, or if it's just going to immediately take place in World War One from the get-go, which I'm assuming is going to happen. I don't want them to become overwhelming. I am fine with them doing flashbacks and flash forwards and doing time jumps, that's fine, but I don't want them to use so many in one movie that it takes away from the main plot. But as long as it's a flashback that serves the story, I'm all for it. And if it's something like Wonder Woman where the whole film takes place in during World War One, then I'm fine with that, as long as it kind of as long as we explore her character and it kind of serves the story of her character in the movie and all that. As long as it does all that kind of stuff, I'm happy with it.
Andrew.
Yeah, I agree. It's not surprising that there's going to be flashbacks, especially with where these movies are placed. Unlike the Marvel movies, these movies are taking place after Justice League, or Wonder Woman is the only one really taking place before Justice League. And so they're kind of necessary to give us, context and understanding of these characters. Like Aquaman, we need to see how he's an outcast, how he's, his mom and dad met. And Flash, we need to see him being struck by lightning. Cyborg, his accident. So I think those are necessary, but I agree with David, as long as they don't become overwhelming. And I think I'm just going to use Suicide Squad as that example, because I felt like they used too many, and they were just placed in such random places that it just really took me out of the story. Even to an extent, the Darkseid scene, the Mad Max nightmare scene. While it was a cool scene, it was just it was just placed in a really weird spot, and I know the people I went to with the movie had absolutely no idea what was going on. Of course, I loved it because I knew what was going on, but I'm a big DC fan, so yeah, I think they need to be careful with the flashback scenes or the flash forward scenes, whatever they're doing. But it's not surprising that they're going to have more.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just really excited for the future of the DCEU. There's a lot of potential for some really cool stuff. So hopefully, like you said, they don't rely too heavily on it, or it takes away from the actual narrative of the what they're trying to tell in the movie. But I'm sorry, I'm like reading other things right now while you guys are talking, so I sound like an idiot right now. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. Well, actually, so the next topic is DC related, so I guess it's a nice little segue. So apparently, you guys know that R-rated comic book movies have recently seen reemergence in, I guess, pop culture. You had Deadpool back in 2015 or something like that, 2015, 2014. I think it was 15. And then you had Logan most recently, which is killing it at the box office. And then you had Simon Kinberg say that he's open to more X-Men related projects being rated R. And now you have DC getting into the mix, kind of, by even saying that they are interested in pushing out R-rated movies. And it's something that people actually wanted for a while. They think that a lot of DC properties would lend themselves well to an R rating. BVS, The Ultimate Cut, is probably the closest we've gotten so far to like an R-rated DC movie, with a lot of blood, extra swearing. I guess that's like the norm for like R-rated. Is just you just have some blood and cussing in it and just rated R, you'll be fine. So
I think it's done based on like, forgive the word, but like penetration of like knives. Like, 'cause I think it's something to do with if you see a blade going into someone, that and like that. I think that makes it R-rated. Or I think that's like much more likely to make it R-rated, which is why, like, if you look back to the Wolverine, I don't think you saw like Wolverine's claws actually going into someone that you maybe just saw them come out the back, or or maybe it was just like insinuated. But I think it's something to do with like knives and like actually stabbing and actually seeing that on screen.
I don't know. All I know is that there was a lot of that in Logan. So that dude got stabbed in his face, man. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I still think about that to this day, but I digress.
So good.
But yeah, so DC is interested in making R-rated movies. Just by even knowing that they are like interested in doing that, a lot of characters come to mind, like Lobo, Red Hood and the Outlaws. You can even make Justice League Dark R-rated just to kind of separate them from the regular Justice League. There are a lot of really good DC properties that could make for really good R-rated content. But Andrew, what do you think about them interested in doing R-rated films, and what other DC properties that I haven't mentioned would you think would lend itself well to that?
I think it's a good idea to possibly explore R-rated movies.
Yeah, we can't have no X-rated movies up in here.
I don't think people are going to be going to theaters for that. I think one of the things that some people are getting mixed up with are R-rated. A movie being R-rated does not mean that the movie is going to be better than a PG-13 movie, and I think some people are kind of getting that mixed up. But because I saw some people saying, "Oh, Aquaman should be R-rated." I'm like, no,
hell no.
No, it shouldn't. That needs to be PG-13. They need to appeal to everyone that they can. Flash, PG-13. So it can really only, and even X-Men. I don't think X-Men should be R. X-Force can be R, but X-Men should be PG-13. I just think that there are certain characters it works for. Batman, I could see in an R-rated director's cut. I was about to say, I was thinking like a theatrical R-rated Batman movie. I couldn't see it, but definitely I'm hoping that there is an R-rated cut of Matt Reeves' Batman. Yeah,
I feel like there might be. So
yes, I mean, and I see no problem with that. A theatrical cut being PG-13 and then a director's cut being R. That's fine with me. And then what you said, Lobo definitely could be a potential R-rated film. What else? Justice League Dark could be. That could be pretty scary. What else? The Question. I don't know if they'd ever make a Question movie, but that could be kind of...
I love The Question so much. I want The Question in something. Give me a Question freaking TV show, or do even like a short thing on like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or whatever. Just give me something Question related, because I love that character.
And then maybe the New Gods. That could be a potential R-rated. I could see that being kind of like an epic between Highfather and Darkseid. I don't know. I'm spawning ideas here, but I'm totally down for some R-rated movies from DC.
Yeah, and I've seen like a lot of people be like, oh, they're just trying to hop on the bandwagon of successful like R-rated movies. Like you said, just because the movie's gonna be R-rated, or that they're interested in making R-rated, doesn't mean that every single movie they're gonna pump out is gonna be R-rated. I think people need to kind of think before they start saying some stuff like that, because Flash isn't going to be rated R, Aquaman sure as crap isn't going to be rated R, Cyborg is not going to be rated R, so definitely kind of just like sit back and be like, what movie could they actually make rated R that would actually work? So, David.
I also think that, it's obviously not surprising given the success of Deadpool and Logan, which were both, of course, R-rated. But the reason that those movies worked so well is because they were true character pieces. Mm-hmm. Those characters are like Deadpool is best at when he's in an R-rated setting, and this Logan obviously worked far better as an R-rated film than it would have done as as a PG-13 film. But, they only worked because the movies were true to who the characters are. So, just because Deadpool and Logan worked as R-rated, it doesn't mean that every single R-rated comic book movie will work. True. It just means that it can work if it's done correctly and if it stays true to the character. Like, you guys nailed it. I'm all for an R-rated DC movie, but I don't want to see like an R-rated Flash. I don't want to see an R-rated Aquaman, because that would just be stupid. So I probably won't be surprised if Warner Brothers announced that. But
They better
I just.
not.
But yeah, I don't want to. It depends on the character. I think with as far as who would suit an R-rated DC movie, I think you guys nailed it with all the suggestions. So as long as it fits the character, it's fine. If it doesn't, it'll just be stupid and it'll go horribly wrong, probably.
Okay. A question: if slash when DC decides to make an R-rated movie, what year do you think that they would try to like push that out? I feel like they might try to do it pretty soon. I honestly think that. Yeah. Andrew, I think you had a good idea with the whole like R-rated director's cut of Batman. I could see that happening. I could see that like they'd be going, all right, we're gonna have it's gonna be an R script, but we're gonna cut out the R parts and make it PG-13. That way everyone can see it, and then just throw all them things in the director's cut and just make it super badass and stuff. So
I could see like the director's cut being I could see that being soon, like 2019 or whenever Batman comes out, but like an R-rated theatrical. 2020 maybe.
I agree. They'll probably see the reaction to the first R-rated project, whatever they do, or cut that they make, and then I think from there they'll be like, all right, let's go ahead and do some more stuff, but just don't go overboard, please.
Yeah, I mean DC doesn't have we know that DC has announced a bunch of they've got like Gotham City Sirens and Nightwing and stuff like that. So, but I believe if you sort of look back to the slate that they announced a few years ago, Batman wasn't on there, Gotham City Sirens wasn't on there, Nightwing wasn't on there, and Batman's coming out in 2018, which is before, potentially
we think it's coming out in 2018.
Yeah.
We don't know for a fact.
Yeah. Which is before the Flash and the Aquaman were originally meant to come out. So as far as what year will they put it out, who knows? Because they seem to be announcing these movies that have got that are in a different order than when they're announcing them. You know what I mean? So they could announce an R-rated Red Hood movie tomorrow to come out at the end of 2018, and then the Batman, which they announced a year ago or whenever, that could come out in 2019. So in terms of like the order of the films and the years, it's a bit up in the air. So it could come out any year, to be honest. I can't really pinpoint a specific year where it's most likely to be. I think that they should still focus on their current characters before venturing into something R-rated and introducing more movies. So that's my advice, but it could be any year.
Dear WB, release an updated slate. So, there's that.
Yeah. They just literally need just even like a graphic, from like Jeff Johns or someone, just a graphic with the slate, and then let that be your slate and just make those movies. That's all they need to do.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the last topic, and is Inhumans related, a topic that like literally not a whole lot of us know about, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. Before, when the show was announced, people were all excited and all that good stuff, and we had no casting announcements. But then, just out of the blue, Marvel decided to smack us over the head consecutively, day after day after day, with new casting announcements. And I'm not going to go through all of them, because there's a lot. If you want to read the article with all of them, I will link it down below in the description box so you can read it. Done by one of our fantastic writers. But I guess the ones of importance, you have Ewan Rayon as Maximus the Mad, and you have Anson Mount as Black Bolt, Serinda Swan as Medusa, right? Medusa, and then you have Ken Leung from Lost playing Karnak, and then like I said, there's a whole bunch of other characters and stuff, and there's been like some set photos of the guy playing Black Bolt, and people are kind of like upset with the way he looks. Me personally, I know nothing about Inhumans, and I've said this multiple times because this is not the first time we've spoken about Inhumans on this podcast. But why don't I go ahead and turn it over to our residential Inhumans master, Ander. What do you think about these guys?
I think it's a good cast. I'm really excited for it. Basically, the four that you mentioned are, the more prominent actors and actresses. Then we have some other. Like Isabel Cornish playing Crystal, Mike Moe as Triton, Ime Ikwakar as Gorgon, and who's left? Sonia Balmores as Oran. So it's a pretty great cast, a pretty diverse cast. I'm excited. really excited, especially to see Anson Mount as Black Bolt. I think that's a great casting. He was awesome in Hell on Wheels. And I just want to talk about that the set photo that got released, because we saw our first
Black Bolt.
a Black Bolt, and we saw our first little look at CGI Lockjaw, which is their giant dog.
They have a giant space dog.
Oh yeah, of course.
What the hell?
And yeah, so I saw a lot of people complaining about his look, and I mean, I get the complaints, but we also know nothing about the scene or anything about the story, so that could be anything. To me, it looks like a casual wear. I don't think it's going to be his official look. If it is, then there's room to be mad at it. But right now, I mean, it could be a flashback. We just don't know. We have no context for the scene at all. So I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. So
what do you think? What do you think of Black Bolt's costume, or the lack thereof?
Well, just kind of what I was saying. I think it's just a casual look. So I'm not upset with it right now, because I think his classic comic accurate look, I think we'll probably get that. I just can't. I mean, they've got such a big cast. They're going all in. IMAX is they're backing them in ABC. I just don't think they're gonna go, with these generic looking costumes. I think that they'll
Leather.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of leather costumes, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd be surprised if that's his official look, just because it seems like they're going all in with this TV series. I mean, they're going to be putting in a 2,000-pound CGI dog as a supporting character, so I think that they can afford a good costume designer, and so.
David, should I even ask you, since you've said that you don't know anything about Inhumans?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish I'd seen more of like these actors, so I got a better sense of how their skill set. I saw Ken Leung in Lost. I thought he was fine, he was good, but yeah, I don't really know anything about the actors and actresses and much in terms of their ability. Like you said, if Black Bolt, if that is his casual look, I'm just looking up the set photos now, if that is his more casual look, then that's fine. I honestly thought it was Malcolm Merlin from Arrow when I first saw it, but a closer look, it's clearly not. So I think Andrew kind of summed it up pretty well.
All right. Well, that's it. Those are all the topics we had today. Like I said, we didn't have a whole lot to talk about, but I definitely wanted just to talk about the trailer for Wonder Woman and all that other good stuff before the new week arrive. But David, tell people where people wow. Tell everyone where they can find you at on Twitter. Jesus. Oh my god.
What was that?
I don't ask. Just go.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at David_. See you guys next week.
Yep, and you can also find me on Twitter at really sharp, SHARPE, and on Instagram at DCEU News. Andrew, what about you?
I'm on Twitter at AnderWriter. The new weekly comic roundup should be up. I do that with Alex. Yep. So give that a listen if you want. Yeah.
Yep, it's actually on the channel right now, so do yourself a favor and check it out. It's really cool. I like it. And as always, keep it locked to thedropnews.com for the latest news and everything that you love besides anime. Not yet. Maybe soon. All right, see you guys later. Peace.